Hey guys, I'm Saurav, and in this video, actually I'm not going to teach anything, I'm going to talk about myself. I don't think I need to repeat my name again, but a few things about myself. I am a photographer slash content creator slash YouTuber from Mumbai. Basically, to start my journey, I started as a photographer 5 years ago. So, you know, right, everyone starts photography with a mobile phone and then kinds of get the knack of photography, forces the parents to get a camera. So I started taking photos with mobile phone and I was very much fascinated with nature. So before even starting photography as such, I was kind of interested in landscapes, and that's how I got into landscape photography. But I only had the interest, I didn't have the technical expertise or any knowledge about how to deal with cameras. I used to think using a camera is very simple, but later as I started studying, as I started reading different articles, I understood that it's not that easy, and there are a lot of things that you need to understand, you need to consider while making an image. And the way I learned is, obviously, as I said, I used to read a lot of articles and I used to see a lot of videos on YouTube. And that's how I learned photography. After I learned photography, I got my first DSLR. That's the DSLR I'm using till now. That's the Nikon D750. And after getting my first camera, I started experimenting more. And then later I realized I have a good grasp over the technical settings. And then I thought, why not teach this same thing that you have learned from YouTube and give it back to the community? Of course, making money was one of the inspiration, but the main motivation is to teach people. And the way I do it is I try to make the videos simpler. So if you have seen my channel, if you have not, go ahead and see that. But if you have seen my channel, I try to make things very easy, because everyone who has a passion for photography doesn't have the luxury to join classes, to join premium coaching. And that was the reason to create a place where people can come and learn photography irrespective of what camera they are using or irrespective of what background they are from. That was the main motivation behind creating this particular channel. So it was not a very easy journey for me. I am a computer engineering student. Technically, I was a computer engineering student. I just completed my engineering. But, you know, being a part of Mumbai University, completing assignments, traveling to college, 5 hours a day, traveling each and every day. So, handling all those things and still creating content, still getting into photography was kind of difficult. My parents were scared and they were tense that my studies will get affected because I'm getting distracted. But that was the challenge I accepted. I told my parents that you be calm, I'll handle the rest. And I was confident about myself and I worked harder, I pushed myself harder, and that's how I overcame the obstacles. Even now there are a lot of obstacles, but you know, that's how life is. You have to overcome them if you want to achieve something. I don't have any such worst experience, but one of the experience I remember very well and that taught me something is I was shooting a sunrise and I loved the images and I wanted to process them as soon as I came home. And when I came home, I realized I have shot everything in JPEG. I was very interested to process the images because, as you know, sunrise, sunset images are kind of high dynamic range scenes. I know I'm getting a bit too technical, but that is why I wanted to process them. And once I realized that I left my camera to JPEG, I actually regretted not checking my camera before shooting. That was a bad experience, but because of that experience, I got to learn. Now it's a habit that before shooting, I check my camera settings once, and once I'm sure, then I start shooting so that I don't have to regret later. Speaking about my favorite photograph, that has to be the recent one, again, where I got fireflies and Milky Way in the same image. So as I said, it's not a very technically difficult image to capture, but we were extremely lucky because it was cloudy and we didn't expect Milky Way to be that visible. But yeah, we eventually got lucky. The clouds cleared up and the condition was perfect and I got this particular image. This has to be one of my favorite images till now. Now, talking about where I think about content. So as I said, I used to travel almost 4 to 5 hours a day, and while traveling, what I used to do is I had a small diary with me, and if I don't have, I used to write small points on my mobile phone, and that is where I used to come up with these ideas for creating videos. So instead of wasting my time when I'm traveling, I used to write content, I used to think of more ideas, and later when I used to come home, I didn't have the pressure of writing content because I've already done that while I was traveling. So when I come home, I know I have a plan, I just have to execute it now. That's how I used to do it. My aim, my goal is obviously to become a better photographer. And you know, photography is obviously an art form, and in any art form, there won't come a point where you will feel that you have learned everything. It's always a learning curve, and I always want to learn more things about photography, experiment more, and yeah, want to be a better photographer eventually. My vision with the YouTube channel is to create content and to educate the audience. Doesn't matter if the audience, if the person, if the individual is a beginner, professional, or an amateur photographer, or whatever background he is from, he or she should be able to learn photography. He or she should get motivated to learn more and to experiment more about photography. And my channel has never been about do you get more followers on Instagram or how do you get more likes. It's always focusing on how to create better content. So whether that is making videos or making photos, whatever it is, but making quality content. So yeah, I want this channel to be the best channel of photography in the world. And when I say best, again, I don't mean about numbers. I don't want the most number of subscribers. It's just that I want very good quality content uploaded on my channel, so that once you start watching the channel, even you are motivated and even you are inspired, and that's how you will be able to inspire others. That's my vision with this particular channel. Now, before we end the video, I would like to give some tips for the beginners out there. And I won't give any technical expertise or any technical tips right now. The channel is there for that. Talking about in general, I feel, once you set a goal, once you set a aim, there always will be obstacles. So whether that be your parents, your personal problems, or maybe the situations are not supporting you. And that is because you have set a goal for yourself. And the problem I see with a lot of beginners today, with a lot of people today, is they kind of get demotivated. And that's not a problem. Believe me, even I get demotivated a lot of times because of different reasons. But you don't have to stop creating content. You don't have to stop doing what you do, right? You have to be confident about yourself and tell yourself that you will overcome any given particular damn obstacle and go to that goal. And yeah, you have to keep motivating yourself. There will be thousands of speakers, thousands of videos that you will watch right now, but no one can motivate you more than yourself. Be motivated, be encouraged, work harder, and keep creating content. That's the only tip I want to give. That's it from my side. Thank you.